on.
It's telling me that the life. What the hell's something going on?
You're live, 10. Yeah.
That's we're live.
But it said error.
Mic check. There we go.
There you are. I hear you.
Oh,
It's gonna be fun tonight.
it's gonna be one of those nights.
It's going to be perfect.
One of those nights.
They're gonna be perfect.
Okay. I got a 5x5 by 420 Wild Dragon.
They're gonna be perfect.
We're live.
Somebody's got their thing on in the back.
It ain't me.
That was me. It was me. I admit when I do wrong. Okay.
All right.
All right. Just saying.
So
people
I'm sitting there having a really great conversation with a man of color that served in the Navy, telling me about being in Italy and underground stuff, train systems, and all this. And somebody keeps calling and calling and calling while I was getting some good intel. I mean, what the hell?
Hey, we're just saying, let's hold that for a minute. And 10, you got your finger on the button because I'll give you a heads up because let's do this.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tin TV. Sorry we missed you on Sunday. A lot going on in the news, right, Jay?
Take it away, Jay.
Well, no. There's a funny story coming soon. 10 made it. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Bye.
Got a lot going on, you guys. Totally, the news is nuts today. I don't even know where to go. India, Pakistan, Israel's getting mad at Trump. Diddy stuff. The
Canada.
sun's popping off. Canada, and then Trump to boot. Now he wants to open up Alcatraz and make it into a new.
No, did you hear the latest? He wants to call, I think, the Persian Gulf. Now he's changing the name next week.
Mhm.
It's a true story. I heard. He's going to change it to the Arabian Gulf,
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah.
the Persian Gulf. I heard that. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Kind of like Gulf of America.
Things.
AB, I'll give you one hint who encouraged the crazy phone calls. It's the only other male on the panel.
10.
Not a male. Why do you always say that?
I know exactly who was behind the phone calls.
That's right. Exactly. Whose number was coming on your phone?
Look, I had my DNA test. I'm female and I am non-lizard. I know I'm non-lizard. Okay.
I was just going to say, show it.
Well,
Allegedly, someone said blow him up like an ex-wife. Allegedly, though. For entertainment purposes only.
Right.
It's crazy ex-wife calling. I gotta go.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
I hit the FU button first time and she didn't get it.
She wanted her money.
Yeah,
Wanted her
I
money.
did phone.
Yeah.
I won't have Gary. I won't have Gary.
That's right, Gary. I'm Gary.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok piece and Jenner. No, I am female, guys.
Oh my God.
Oh my Lord.
No, we know, 10. We're just joking around. We think we know, but we don't.
We think we know. These people think they know. They think they know the plan's going to save them, but Yeah, it ain't happening.
Oh, well, before we get into this, there's a lot of people in chat. Let's say hi.
Yeah.
Well, you say hi. I'm busy trying to get my stuff out, and I'll look at them. Tell everybody hello.
All right, there you go. Winslow, Jeff B, True.
Willard Hall.
Mountaineer Mama.
420 Wild Dragon 420.
420,
Sissy
bong
K,
on, dude.
and I think Flamingo.
Bong on 420. Talking peas in there.
I've got since y'all didn't do Sunday, I've got a prayer request for Appalachian. Oh shit, I just forgot. I'm sitting here doing 6 things at one time. Appalachian Granny, and I gotta look at my phone. Prayers out to
German son.
Grandma Appalachian. Where's my phone at? Help me, 10 and hit Gal. It's in the truck.
No, you're not being very nice to me at the very beginning of the show. So.
When a man asks where his phone is, you should know where it's at.
I'm not.
It's up on the dash. It's up on the dash in my truck, and I'm trying to get my dog to get out of the truck and load my stuff up. But she's been in the hospital. She's a long-time listener and going through some tough times. So it was a prayer request for her.
Absolutely.
Something about she had very. Oh, here it is. It says, I just see. She didn't think that was how her birthday was going to end up. Her blood sugar went up to 975. She was throwing up red stuff, just in case. I don't want to get us in trouble. For 13 hours. The hospital. Yeah. The hospital said she set a record for the highest sugar level and surviving it.
Wow.
So,
well,
there you go.
Hope she's comfortable now.
So let's make sure to include her in tonight's prayer then, if that's okay.
But there's a lot of shit going on around this world, isn't there?
Yeah.
I woke up and I was like, what is all this on my phone? India and Pakistan's throwing jabs at each other.
Yeah, down in Kashmir, is that what it is?
Moving through Kashmir.
Before you worry about things on the other side of the world, we should actually be worrying about the dangers of Wally, you guys. Yeah, it's dangerous to go into Walmart. I've got a couple of stories here, but first we're going to start with this one. It's regarding their corn. You want to stay away from this corn, okay, guys? It's bad corn. Here we go.
Wondering why I have several unopened cans of corn from Walmart in my trash. I just seen a video on here that I could not believe, but it is true. So you see these cans of corn bought from Walmart? Let's see. This says packed same day. Great for you, right? Well, notice it doesn't say it on this can, and you're going to see why. So this can here says packed in USA, right? Obviously bought at a different time. You go here, no warning labels, right? Also, you'll see distributed by Walmart, where it's at, but it doesn't say anything else, right? But then you go over to this can that does not say it's good for you because it is not. It does not say packed in the USA. And now there's this nice new warning label here. Consuming this product can expose you to chemicals, including lead, which are known in the state of California to cause cancer and birth defects or other reproductive harm. The other thing, what's in big letters here? Product of Thailand. So apparently, since Walmart has, I guess, sold to China or something like that, they said, apparently they are no longer getting any vegetables or anything from America. So now they have lead in their cans. So beware. I checked all of mine and I threw all of these ones, the warning label, away, and I would definitely check your products from Walmart from now on. So you may be wondering.
I'd throw them all away. I hate Walmart. Walmart sucks.
Right. So not only you guys is corn dangerous. Yay. Tell us why corn is, or why Walmart is so dangerous.
No, Walmart sucks. Okay.
Tell
So
me why we canceled the show.
I know. Because
Explain
Ken
that
said,
I did exactly what you said, and I said you went to the emergency room. No details. I was truthful. Please explain.
well, hold on. You're pre-explaining this in your content, not the way I said it. The way I said it. Your little brain heard it one way. I said it the right way.
Here we go.
Right.
Be nice. I canceled.
Okay. So I went over to our local Walmart by myself, as I always do. I pick up the food for the wife for the week, and for her work. She likes bringing shit to work and sharing with everybody. Fill her car with gas. She's never pumped gas. I pump her gas. I'm old school. And anyways, I'm in Walmart. I have the cart full. I'm walking down. Everybody knows because they're all kind of laid out the same way. Most of them are. I was down by the automotive section, hanging a left down the long aisle, heading straight to the front of the store. All right. There's pallets. You know how they have pallets. I don't know if yours does or mine does. They had pallets in the middle of the aisle, displays of stuff. Well, in front of me was a Walmart worker with a cart that she shops for other people, a Walmart shopper for you, and you pick it up front, I guess. So I stopped behind her, and she says she was talking to another one of her employees, and over a pallet, right? Hey, and they were chatting, and she turns around, she says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "No, I got all the time in the world. I really don't care," So she moves on, and I move on right behind her, kind of laughing, looking to my right. The kid, or the guy that was unloading the pallet, had there were big boxes. I think they were fans, maybe fans, or maybe air conditioners, or for summer. On top, he had put a dolly, a hand truck like, where is it? Boom. This. All right. Everybody got it? That. It was red too, just like that. On top of the pallets. He had stood that thing up. I had no idea. It wouldn't even bother me if I saw it, probably, because I was just walking by it. I walked by it. The guy pulled the box out. The hand truck fell from probably 3.5 feet tall, I'm guessing. Somewhere in there, maybe 4 foot tall. 3.5 is probably right. Standing up, fell. Boom! Nailed me right in my shoulder. And yeah, it hurt very bad. So I ended up having to go over to the emergency room and get x-rays. It's not broke, but it's hurt. So wasn't dying.
I never said. I just said that you went to the emergency room. So
yeah, so that's where it got, and I was giving her.
Wants to read more into it.
Thank you for everybody who posted prayers for me. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. Everybody posted on her thumbnail. Yeah, it was unbelievable. But how many people? That was not on my bingo card.
No,
I did not get hit by a hand truck at all. So.
No, Krista, I didn't think that he was dying. Sorry, but I did cancel the show because I didn't know. And how am I supposed to? What do you think I am, a puppet? I just turn me on and off and entertain. If I don't feel comfortable, if I'm feeling, bad for another, person, that's.
No, it goes like this. Ken, your first answer was, "I don't get paid for this shit."
I never say that. But
You said you'd be distracted and couldn't concentrate on the show because you were worried about him.
yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you, and
I try to do
that's
this
what happened.
the whole time. It wouldn't be fun to, entertain, just do what we're doing or whatever if I'm worrying about people. Yeah.
Well, right now, let's worry about Grandma Appalachie, whatever her name is.
Yeah,
That's correct.
yeah.
And move on. AB.
I mean,
I'm just listening. I'm just sort of reading
You've already
chat.
heard it. You already heard it. You guys have heard it because it's bugging me. I got PTSD over a hand truck now. Really bad.
well, it's understandable.
Scares me.
And I slept all the way through.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, when it happened, it was like when it happened, I called Tin and I said, "Hey, Tin, I won't be able to make the show. I'm headed
At
to
least
the
you did
ER."
that. At least you did that.
Yeah, because otherwise my shit would have been blown up. You know how that works. Know how that works?
I see how that works.
Yeah, let's see how that works.
Well, but she did put up a post about it. Somebody said something about at least put up a post. She did.
Usually she wouldn't. That was very surprising.
I like the idea of a public apology.
Yes, go ahead, Tin. I'm waiting.
You need to apologize that you got hit by something in Walmart right now, Jay.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, that's yeah, it was definitely weird. It was not normal. Most people would slip on the water or a banana or a
Don't slip
melon
and
or
fall.
yeah. This was totally their fault. My shoulder is bugging me, so. But that's what it is.
Okay, so those are the dangers of Walmart. Remember the canned corn, and if there's a
Hand trucks.
in a hand truck or any kind of stay away from the merchandise.
Long story short, pay attention to your surroundings.
Yeah.
Things might come flying out of nowhere.
I thought it was AB throwing shit at me. I thought he found me and somebody hit me. At first, I didn't know what hit me. I was like, "What the hell?"
No, I'm on the search for Jeff B when he goes to Walmart because I know he probably lives at Walmart.
Right back in the dumpster.
Uh-huh.
No, so and yes, Jeff, I did waste 10 minutes of your life.
10 minutes. And sorry to do a show, but we're here tonight.
Are we going to talk about Alcatraz?
Yeah, I was gonna move on to that if that's okay with you guys, because that seems to be the big thing that's been, I don't quite understand why, and I wanted to ask you guys on panel about this, what you guys think of this community post came out on, I think it was, this was on X where Trump came out and said he wants to rebuild and open Alcatraz.
Why not? Feds own it anyways.
Well, this really started getting everybody all, talking and everything. That then Trump was asked about it in this particular video here. You guys can see. Okay. Let me blow this up here.
Decide to reopen Alcatraz. Can you walk us through that decision?
Did I say what?
To reopen Alcatraz, how will you use it? How did you come up
I'm reading you guys in chat too.
Was supposed to be a movie maker. We started with the movie making, and we'll end. I mean,
wait a minute, movie maker?
That's where all the elite are gonna go. One, just maybe watch.
Wait a minute, he's saying something in here that's weird. Well, I guess was supposed to be a movie maker. What?
Okay, we started with the movie making, and we'll end. I mean, it represents something very strong, very powerful in terms of law and order. Our country.
Stop. Yeah, he just said we started with movie making. I mean, he's meaning Alcatraz, right? Because he started making tons of movies out there with Alcatraz and documentaries and all kinds of filming out there. And now he says we're going to end with it. So he's going to end with a movie.
Okay.
We're already in the movie.
Good point. Okay.
It needs Law and Order. Alcatraz
Needs Law and Order.
is, I would say, the ultimate, right? Alcatraz, Sing Sing and Alcatraz, the movies. But it's right now a museum, believe it or not. A lot of people go there. It housed the most violent criminals in the world, and nobody ever escaped. One person almost got there, but they, as you know the story, they found his clothing rather badly ripped up, and it was a lot of shark bites, a lot of problems. Nobody's ever escaped from Alcatraz, and just represented something strong having to do with law and order. We need law and order in this country. And so we're going to look at it. Some of the people up here are going to be working very hard on that. And we had a little conversation. I think it's going to be very interesting. We'll see if we can bring it back in large form, add a lot. But I think it represents something. Right now, it's a big hulk that's sitting there rusting and rotting. You look at it, it's sort of, you saw that picture that was put out. It's sort of amazing. But it sort of represents something that's both horrible and beautiful and strong and miserable, weak. It's got a lot of qualities that are interesting, and I think they make a point. Okay.
I like what Interesting Tidbits too said. He's telling you the movie is ending. Oh, I sure hope it is. I like that answer.
There you go.
Because that whole speech was very cryptic. Just, I don't know. He always talks faster than that.
And more than one person said that Bowser looks really nervous the whole time.
Oh, this lady back here.
So let me get this. So y'all are thinking this is where we're fixing to start seeing people get arrested at the end of the movie.
We're just thinking. It doesn't mean anything. We don't know. We have no idea. But that's what we're hoping.
And why is it all this?
Right.
This being talked about, and then you've got this article that came out and said that they did some ground penetrating radar and it reveals military structures buried beneath Alcatraz.
Interesting, huh? There's a lot of good characters.
Well, and there was this. Where was it? Oops. I had something here on this. Dang it. Okay, so in this particular post that he did, he said he's directing the Bureau of Prisons together with the Department of Justice, FBI, and Homeland Security to reopen a sustainably enlarged and rebuilt Alcatraz. But they were saying that those are usually run under something else. So they're usually run under something else, but where is that damn? Sorry, guys.
You remember Tippy Top? Interesting tidbits again. He's telling us stuff. Remember when he said Tippy Top? I mean, I'll never forget that. That was one of the first. Like, what in the world? Nobody says that. I mean, they do, but the timing. It was like, say it tomorrow at your speech or something. Yeah. Do you remember that, AJ?
Yeah, Tippy Top. Yeah.
He said it in a speech, and it's like, what the heck? That's just kind of a lot.
Did they scrub my video?
They scrubbed your thoughts.
No,
hey, Chin, should we kill off Pootie while he's not here? Well, Pootie's not here. Why? Did he go to the emergency room or something? Or?
Got hit by a can of corn at Walmart.
I say call him at least 12 times.
At least.
Wait, 17.
Oh my God.
I can't.
Did we have another cookie incident?
Jeff
B says the DNC is kicking out Fetterman.
What? Yeah, they probably should because he's. But that's the weird thing with Fetterman. Thanks. Just with Fetterman. You guys know that is not Fetterman that they showed us at the beginning, or at the beginning they didn't that was not Fetterman with the big hump on his neck. And they now have the real Fetterman. Which way does it go? We're fucked. You don't know. Look, one Fetterman has tattoos on his arm, on his forearms. The other one doesn't. One has a hump. The other one didn't.
That is true.
It's a movie. Now
movie.
you go back to what Trump just posted today. It's fucking Alcatraz. It's a movie. And we knew that all along. We've been saying we're living in a movie. We're watching it backwards.
And this movie will continue on. There'll be no ending.
It might, because it's a real live movie. But I don't think, no way, I take that back. I don't think so. I think it's already done.
So let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. If the audience is into movies, what are the producers and the actors doing while you're watching the movie?
Producing and acting. It's a show. It's like you said, it's the greatest fucking show on earth, man.
He definitely said central casting and stuff when he was getting right after the day he was inaugurated. Using those phrases.
It has to be. Biden, central casting. Tom Hoffman, central casting. Steve Miller, central casting. These people. No, I think there's more to this than we know what's going on.
Well, and there's also more to with this Alcatraz thing. This is the biggest.
And it is a psyop, 100%. That's why this Alcatraz stuff is very interesting.
I'm gonna speed this up a little bit, you guys. Here, this was interesting because there's a lot of history with Alcatraz Island all in itself and how far it goes back. So here's a little history of it.
So Alcatraz is back in the news. Well, if that's the case, there's a few things we should talk about. Except I'm going to assume that most people have a pretty good understanding of what this place is. So we're just going to get weird right off the bat. See, there's a lot of interesting details about Alcatraz that most people don't even know. It started off as an island where native Indians would go to collect bird eggs and fish and even hold ceremonies. And just like everything else, it was traded and bought. See, the first structure that was on Alcatraz Island was a lighthouse. And then not too long after that, in 1859, the military took it over, fortified it, and made Fort Alcatraz. With the intentions of protecting San Francisco Bay, Alcatraz Island has been built and rebuilt by the U.S. military for over 80 years, until 1933, when they turned it into strictly a federal prison, which is what we see today, Alcatraz, aka The Rock. But what a lot of people don't understand is there's a lot of layers to this island. Like, it has everything that we know it for above ground, all the cell blocks and everything, but this thing has a whole underground. It's even got multiple dungeons. And this is where we're going to get weird, because the best way I can explain this is to follow one man. Organized crime boss, James Whitey Bulger. Now, I'm not going to go into what this man did in his career, but when he was finally busted, he went to a prison in Atlanta, Georgia. And at that prison, he was subjected to certain experiments. Until 1959, that is, when he was transferred to Alcatraz. Now, not only is it weird that he went from Georgia, did his little experiments, and then went straight to Alcatraz, but while he was there, but one of the friends he made at Alcatraz was this guy named John England. That was one of the two brothers and the uncle that escaped from Alcatraz and were never seen again. All right, now, there's something I want you to understand about San Francisco Bay and just San Francisco as a whole. See, it's kind of been a testing ground. Now, don't forget, late 50s, early 60s is when Whitey Bulger, Machine Gun Kelly, Al Pacino, all these guys were at Alcatraz. Operation Sea Spray. They sprayed a bacteria over San Francisco. It was a simulation to see how fast and how far it would spread. And from what I hear, they're still dealing with that to this day. Then there was Operation Midnight Climax. This is basically just a side quest of the... All right, now what they did is they used ladies of the night to lure them in, get them on and use it for surveillance and control. You see, those same 3 letters have had a stronghold in San Francisco for a long time. And just in case you're having any doubts that something like this actually happens, back in 2022, the University of California comes out and apologizes for the experiments they were doing on prisoners back in the 50s and 60s in San Francisco. Doing things like putting pesticides on their skin and there's definitely more that's going to come out about this with the hidden dungeons that were found. Even here more recently, where archaeologists x-rayed the ground underneath Alcatraz, in which they found buried structures, vaulted brick masonry tunnels, ventilation ducts, all kinds of stuff. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen with this whole thing, but it'll be interesting to find out. Y'all stay safe.
Oops, sorry.
That was good. That was cool.
It's just kind of interesting, the history that, and when it was turned into like a prison or something originally, or no, the fort.
Mm-hmm.
It was in 1859, and I thought, what else happened in 1859? Was that the Carrington event?
Yep.
Was the Carrington part of a reset? I don't know. It's kind of interesting, though, how when they first started building the military base there. So, but I think we should, I guess, do something with it, right?
Well, here's the thing. You're getting ready to hear, and I know, Amy, this is just, supposedly, we're getting ready to hear about more of the tunnels, and it's been coming out more and more. Now Alcatraz comes out of nowhere, and what they found underneath it, and the pyramids underneath the pyramids in Egypt.
How are there tunnels underneath that island? I mean, like Epstein's too.
It's a rock.
Mm-hmm. That's what they say.
Yeah, it's a rock.
Well,
Okay. Hold on. Where most of the people that are on this panel and in this chat rely on social media to get information, which I question all. Just like I just had this conversation when my phone was getting blown up from a man of color. Told me a weird story while he was in the Navy. He spent 2 years in Italy. And the guy, he goes to an African barber shop. And the guy is cutting his hair with a razor, okay? And the guy looked at him and says, "Where are you from?" He said, "United States." He said, "No, where are you from?" And he said, I'm tripping this time. He said, "I got my hands where because this guy's got a razor to his throat." And he said, I don't know where he's going with this, because I always heard they didn't like men of color there or people of color. And he said, "No, you're from the same place we're from." He said, "This guy tripped me out." Then he got talking to me about all these underground tunnels. They're in Italy. They're everywhere. Then all of a sudden, this video comes out with Tucker and this woman talking about $21 trillion from 1998 to, I can't remember, 2005 maybe. Don't quote me on the time, but $21 trillion got sent off to a black fund to build these huge underground facilities with cities with tunnels.
Yeah.
So, but when you hear this stuff on social media, but then you talk to a real live person, it's obvious this person was not AI generated, because he was standing in front of me. They're good, but they're not that good. And you hear all this, then you start scratching your head going, what the fuck?
That's where we're at, right?
But hold on. But we got to talk about this stuff that you're talking about right here. Trump and all this. He said, dude, it's real simple. He said, it's a battle between the haves and the have-nots. And if you don't have, they don't care. It's a gigantic club that most of us, everybody on this panel and listen to this chat, are have-nots. I don't think anybody in this chat is in the have group.
And here's why he said, I think Trump said it, the one who holds the gold holds it all.
Now, with that being said, what makes you think the have-nots or the haves give two flying shits about the have-nots? Why is Zuckerberg building a compound? Why are these do you know where these compounds are? Underground bases, underground this? No, you don't, because you're not invited when those things are needed. So we're all left above ground to die. So think about that.
And then
Why would the haves even want the have-nots to survive?
Oh, they don't.
Well, they
So
might
You
want
could
somebody to do the
call them.
labor. They might want somebody that does the hard work of the world. They don't want to get their
Oh, they
hands
have
dirty.
them.
they're not going to need that. Everything's going robotic soon. Your automotive plants there's a lot of robots in there. They're going to have this where I just saw a video of a Chinese robot today, and then it went berserko. And then they played "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor" while this thing starts slinging around, flailing. So I look at things differently, way outside the box, and try to look at the whole picture, and then talk to people, and then I formulate my plan. Doesn't mean my plan is for anybody else, but it's for me. That's why I give y'all shit about it. I don't believe a damn word a politician says, and I don't give a damn who it is, because they're a part of the haves.
Well, and you're right. You're right about the underground cities, because here's a video where this guy comes out. This was 5 hours ago, talking about fully equipped for living. Listen to this. If I can get to look.
Conspiracy theories we thought was real is real. So now the Bush official was saying that the United States built a $21 trillion underground city. You heard what I just said? An underground city, a $21 trillion underground city. And this underground city is not made for you. And it's equipped with everything, transportation, living arrangements, and they don't have no plans for you to be down there. So this city is basically a if shit goes wrong city. If shit goes wrong here, they're getting the hell out of here and they going there. The rich, the elite, the politicians, etc. Oh, and you think I'm lying? Look at this shit. So listen to this shit.
All this money going, and one of the things I've looked at,
pay
in the
attention.
process of looking at where all this money is going, is the underground base and city infrastructure.
Oh, you thought I was bullshitting, right?
System that's been built. And I'm sorry. Yes. So
even
we
Tucker
have
was
built
confused.
An extraordinary number of underground bases and supposedly transportation systems.
Oh, that's crazy.
Some of these are a record
That's crazy.
of. Some of these are documented as part of the national security infrastructure. I think there are many more.
One thing about Tucker Carlson, he gonna get the truth. Listen to this shit she say right here.
From 2021 to 2023,
wow.
I took one of the smartest subscribers in the Slayer Report network, and he and I spent 2 years collecting all the data and all the allegations on underground bases.
It's coming right now.
And then we systematically went through and tried to estimate our guess. This is totally a guess of how many underground bases, both
listen to how many it is though.
In the United States, but also underground under the ocean around the United States. And our estimate was 170.
What are they hiding? So they have at least 170 underground bases throughout the United States, and we know nothing about them. What are they hiding? They have to be hiding something. Last thing, look at this shit.
But that,
hit them out.
I always thought that was like preparation for nuclear war. Like,
listen,
I didn't really think about it that much. Of it is, it's preparation for catastrophe.
Oh yeah.
So, but you think that there are facilities like that in other places outside DC? Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. I know we heard the same thing, right? Okay then. I'm out. Seems like all the conspiracy theories.
Man, that's like that girl, Zara Marley, that says she's Bob Marley's daughter, swears that there's cities, there's cars, every form of transportation. She says there's feral kids. Like, what she described sounds terrifying. But, I mean, everybody thinks it sounds crazy, but if you put all of those pieces together, everybody's saying the same thing.
And now they're looking to break into the tunnels under Alcatraz.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking to open it up.
They're looking to open it up.
Open what the fuck's down there and Yeah, but they got
I
a reason
heard
to open it up too. I don't know what it is.
there's reason there's rumors that TD Jakes, the pastor that was all tied with Diddy and a couple other people, he stepped down and everything, and they're saying there's tunnels under his house, and that's why he stepped down. And the Diddy case is opening, and he's probably going to be named in it. It's crazy.
There's a reason why we haven't seen shit yet, and I know
There's so many different
here we
accounts.
go, but I'm gonna say it's coming. It is just gonna take some time.
But
Well,
to
how many
AB Sports,
It's coming, but it ain't what you think's coming.
Well,
Why
but
does
to
Bezos compound? He's got a launch facility at his compound. Why would he have that?
to get the hell out of Dodge.
While we stay down here and bear the burden of whatever's coming.
But to AB's
I don't know what's
point,
coming.
Okay, if steak goes up, if the price of groceries goes up, the price of gas goes up, price of auto parts, medicine, whatever goes up, that hurts us. Every little bit hurts us. But to them,
No, it
they
doesn't.
don't have to. It doesn't bother them a bit. They don't care if they pay $2,000 for steak. That's why
probably
they
don't
have
even
these
pay.
big.
Here's the thing: they don't buy a steak. Steak's given to them.
Well,
They're lobster.
that's
They
what I'm
don't pay
saying.
for it. Yeah.
They care
when
when
they've
the
had
stock
dinner.
market messes up. They care when the stocks are all they
Really
can't
not.
predict them and all that. And
Really
that
not.
happens.
No,
Because they manipulate the stock market.
And I don't think they can anymore. I think that's because I've heard people that do really well in the stock market who were complaining when it was going
but to the
wonky, it was
point,
going crazy each different day.
Do you know why they were complaining?
but they're
they
building they're building
They
a
weren't in the circle.
ballroom. Why
Well,
are they
that too,
building
but
a ballroom?
they're not concerned. The people that are complaining are not inside that circle. There's only maybe, if even a few thousand people inside this big circle that is the big power players. And none of us are in that circle. And the ones that are complaining and making money, they don't know.
Exactly.
But the ones that know are making money still.
Exactly, but everybody has a circle.
My circle is a circle to survive. This is what I recommend to people in your local community. Put your tribe together.
Is telling you to stop being so negative. Stop.
It ain't negative.
I like it.
It ain't negative. It's what's real. I'm giving you positive. You better work in your local community and get your little tribe together because the big tribe's coming for you.
Which, if you're
nobody's
smart,
coming
you've
to
already
save
done that.
you. Nobody. Oh, I've done it a long time ago.
Right, exactly. We've been doing it for a long time. So,
but Trump, FEMA, the U.S. military, they're not going to save you. They're not going to save you.
Because I don't think they know what's coming.
I disagree.
I don't think we
that.
know what's coming.
We don't, but they do.
And that's where I think they're jumpers. But that's a whole other story.
That's another topic.
I mean, all
Why,
the shit. Go ahead, Chica.
Why did Trump sign that order? He signed an order on April 28th that's going to put military in the streets in 90 days to work with law enforcement. Now, that's not supposed to happen. Not ICE. Military.
Yeah, no,
when that
military.
happens,
Military.
No, read that order. No, not with ICE. This has nothing to do with ICE. This
so the
isn't
military.
with
you said the military are coming in, and they're going to be working with law enforcement. Correct?
Yes. In 90
law
days.
enforcement is ICE.
No, not for those people that have come over and not
for the illegals.
Not for them. Okay, let me finish this. The last time this happened, there was a thing in Washington D.C. and our own military people got turned on, and this is starting to go back to that.
They wanted back
pay. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you could see it. You got to look at all like Amy and everybody. Probably you look at all sides of this. It could go south real quick, right? But it can also not go south.
Yeah, that's when I'm
Give
going.
me give me a time. Give me one example of it not going south. Any of this stuff that's being brought
We've
out with
never
technology.
experienced this. We've never
There you go.
experienced this shit. This is all brand new to all of us.
So
Every one of
so I
us.
I
Everyone,
go to the casino and I go with the numbers because that's what's happened in the past many times over. You
Well, the
know, we're going to do
casinos.
shock therapy and all that on people, but it turns out to be MK Ultra to do this and this with people.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
DTA, man, DTA. Don't trust anybody.
I mean, pretty much agree. But you still got to watch what's going on and listen. Just
Well,
like
I
you
have been.
talking to your colored friend tonight.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
take
like
a, I'll take a human's words over any of this bullshit that's out here that is extremely manipulated with AI now.
I'll
More
do
than you
this.
ever know.
Yeah, I'll do this. Is I will give. Goes way back when Jeff was talking about the tunnels over in Hawaii, which isn't a fucking island, just like Alcatraz. It makes sense, and just like Epstein Island, it makes total sense.
Regina S. says, is the military going to war with the drug dealers and the cartel?
Mm-hmm.
well,
That's been a plan. It's been a plan for
No.
30 or 40 years to
but
go into Mexico.
Hickow wanted to bring up the president of Mexico and the cartel. You want to touch on that a little bit?
Cartel owns them.
Well, here's another thing. Have you read the book Raven Rock?
Mm-mm.
I can't read.
Raven Rock is real.
If I get pulled over, I'll go to jail because I can't read English.
Third grade education here. Sorry, dropped out.
That
Go
book's
ahead.
been out.
So what's the
That
book?
book's been out a long time.
And what's the book about? Because I'm sure a lot of us haven't read it.
It's all about, and it can be gotten on Amazon or anywhere. And it was in the series Jericho. All about Raven Rock. They plan to go under and leave us here. And that book was written many years ago. It's a pretty good book.
But weren't you mentioning something too about the president of Mexico saying that she was going to handle the cartels or something? And she's mad right now.
Yeah. She said the USA and Mexico have never had a good turnout for Mexico whenever our military has come over there. Remember, she's Jewish also. So she, in her mind, knows that anytime you've let another country come into your country and take over your affairs, it doesn't go well. Just like we don't want the UN coming in here. None of us do, you know, and we don't want other countries coming in here and fight. When do you see other countries coming into our country?
Well, they just
and
put them
fighting?
in as politicians. They put them in as politicians. That's
there you go.
Bitching
Good
about
answer.
Ilhan Omar.
Yeah,
Good
but I mean,
answer.
you don't see their military coming in and fighting our battles. And that's the way she's looking at it. And she says she doesn't want any part of it. And they're also sending that fentanyl to England now. So it's going to go through there and come back somehow.
Thank you, Jeff B. I like your comment. I don't go with your comments many times, but you just hit that fucking nail hard with a 5-pound hammer. Bingo.
What about B caves? If they go underground and there's a large earthquake, will the tunnel hold up? I don't know. I was thinking the same thing. If they all go down underground and nothing bad happens above ground, and somebody were to just, drop something down in there that would do something, or just flood or whatever, we'd be all up on top.
You can't. Nobody can stop if the sun decides to spurt off one big massive plasma blob. There's nobody.
We're done.
Yeah, I mean underground, above ground, whatever, because the Earth may crack and volcanoes. I think they plan those for a nuclear event or a radiological event or bio I think that's what they planned those for.
So they're sealed up tight as a snail's ass.
Possibly.
They probably knew
But
where to go, where they'd be safe from that stuff. I'm sure they didn't
well,
build it, you know.
and the thing is, this all goes back to when. This goes way back to what was that dude who always showed us the tunnels and where they went across the country and oh, what was his name? And there was pictures. Matter of fact, he had pictures of the rail. Um, he was on with all those other guys like Jericho and Jerk. What's Schneider and oh man, what's
Wow, we
his
got a hell of a
name?
comment from an person on X, Cheryl. That's a hell of a comment there, Cheryl. Thank you.
What's that?
Bingo.
What's that? I can't read, man. I'm third grade.
They have
Yeah.
reset, they have nots before. That's why we don't know our history.
See,
Yeah, there you go.
that's
There
why
you go.
that's why I thought it was really strange that they started building a military base on
Oh,
Alcatraz in 1959, and that also happened to be the same year the Carrington. Like, what else they started doing in 1959?
Vicky just said it. Congratulations, winner, winner, winner. Gene Decode.
Oh, he
Remember
was.
watching him way back? I mean, before 2000, early, 2018, 17.
I didn't know y'all were going to get so deep tonight, but it's pretty cool.
Oh, this is cool. This is
Well,
good conversation.
There's something about opening up that prison, though, that
Yeah, that's
it's a big deal, and I can't figure out what it is. And the guy did say that the ground penetrating. We've been doing that a lot lately for some reason.
Well, do you think it's
Do you see
actually a
what
big deal,
Nomad said?
or is it look at the left hand while the right hand's going up your bunking?
Yeah. The thing is, we don't know if it's a big deal. We have no clue because nobody ever before that have I heard anything about tunnels under.
Does it
Alcatraz.
matter to me and you? Are you planning on going to Alcatraz?
I would like to, yeah. I'd like to. I'd like to hang out and yeah, why not? Whitey Bulger cell. You have your own plaque outside, Whitey Bulger cell.
I'll stay right here for 45 minutes from where the Georgia Guidestones used to be. I'm good.
They do have a power plant in Texas that's supposed to run underground stuff. Drummond's son was asking about it.
Yeah.
They have a big power plant. That's why. Yeah.
Well, and who's to say that these gigantic data centers that they've been building aren't just another underground gigantic battery too? And they're just saying, because those things
I'm just saying that could be for your free power that's coming towards you. We don't know.
Because those are acres and acres and acres long buildings, those data centers. They're not just a small little supermarket sized building. These things are acres.
Yeah, these things are huge.
Something underneath it, and what's powering it. So I would imagine that maybe that's what they're going to use to supply the energy they need underground. I mean, it's just a theory.
Well, we don't even know.
Let's talk about what's his face that's releasing shit tomorrow or today. Actually today, because it is today here.
I'm going down there. You talking about O'Keefe? I'm going down that rabbit hole so much tomorrow. Was that what you're talking about, James O'Keefe?
Yeah.
Man, I looked at everything that was possible, and at the end of the video, it's like Wednesday. I'm like, are you kidding me?
So AB or Cola, what is he about to release, or what do we think, or what have we heard he's about to release?
He went dark and silent because he's afraid, so it's going to be big.
Pootie found something showing some people, along with a blonde-haired chick that I've been telling you that's compromised. So I don't know.
AB, I'm telling you, I'm going to tune in, and I'm getting to the point where, look, I'm not going to say that I don't trust the plan or don't think we're getting there, but I'm starting to believe it's not so absurd to believe there's some bad people in there, and we got to weed them out.
I remember.
It's so much, man. Well, remember also, so he went undercover, got another person talking smack, and he's saying that he was, and even Trump got word of that and said that they should prosecute, they should do something because the guy's all like, yeah, I don't, talking about Hegseth, and but it's more than that. I think he kept following breadcrumbs, and I think it's even bigger than that. That's just part of it, you know. That's what I think, but I don't know. What do you think,
Tick
AB? Since you brought
tock,
it up,
tick
I'm telling
tock,
you, I've got like
tick
it's
tock,
I
all
don't.
tick.
I
chicken.
don't think it's Headseth. I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
somebody else.
I don't know.
No, he
It's
was
gonna be
talking
interesting to
smack
see.
about Hegseth, the
Oh,
Jeff
guy.
Jeff Jeff says O'Keefe is a fraud. Well, okay, I've said this. If they don't want you
Mhm.
around,
Oh yeah.
there's all of a sudden a flying hand truck that comes out of nowhere that decapitates you.
yeah, fucking dark, man.
So if
Yeah,
they don't want you
that's what I
to
felt
to,
like.
to put out certain things, guess what? Just like what was it, Goodfrey, whatever her name was,
Yeah.
she's supposedly bye bye.
Well, I think that's why he went dark. I think he was afraid. He straight up said he was scared. He was afraid. So I think he went dark to finish up. Well, I mean, unless he's acting, you know, but
So let's look at these people's net worth. Alex Jones, he's got a
mhm.
lot of money. O'Keefe's made a lot of money. At the end of the day, I believe it's part of making money.
Well, he also remember he was Veritas and like he that whole thing. That's why I don't believe he's a bad guy because they'd still be Project Veritas and making money together. But he went too far for them, you know. And I don't know. I think he's telling the truth.
There we go, trust, and I'll agree with you on that because ain't near one of us got any damn facts.
Hey,
We got he said, she
guys,
said.
Well,
there's
What's
yeah,
up,
a
it
Ted?
is. It is. It really is.
look at
All
this
we know
comment.
is what we're hearing, what's
Where are the
going on.
missing ones?
Look at this comment from Nenya. Where are the missing ones? Alcatraz?
Yeah.
Oh, for Michael Jackson is and Elvis. They've been hanging out there
Mhm.
No,
down
but
in the
what
basement.
And
maybe
this is
a
and
bunch
this is all going to go back to the kids. It's all going to go back to the children. Where's 800,000 children in America alone go every year?
right. So maybe they've been keeping them there and nobody knows it because
They're
Under
in
the tunnels.
Texas in a Walmart. They're
And
in
those
Texas in a
tunnels
Walmart.
and those tunnels are connected
We're
all
gonna
over
get in
the
trouble for this
freaking
show.
place. Yeah,
I'm
well,
looking up in the sky right now, making sure
I'm
there's
making
not a
sure.
reaper buzzing around because I'm a big ass target lit all
uh,
up sitting out here by myself.
I'm looking over here for a damn tin truck.
Jeff, make a call and tell them
Back
Definitely.
leave
off.
the trucker alone. He's a
Stand
good
down.
guy.
Stand down. Stand down.
and Cheryl says my lunch break says that we're only being given back the tech they want us to have little by little. The tech
I
was
believe
always
it.
here. Yeah.
It's kind of like a child. Your dog. You only give them a little bit. You never give it all to them because they'll eat it all at once and their stomach will blow up.
Well, it's kind of like, with
Stephanie said,
the drone thing, you guys, they just recently come out and said that these drones that some Denmark students just happened to figure out how drones can hook up to high power lines and recharge.
This drone, it looks like it's about to crash, is actually trying to recharge itself. Developed by students in Denmark, the drone uses its sensors and cameras to detect power lines when its battery runs low and attaches itself to them to recharge. However, it doesn't draw electricity directly from the wires. Instead, it recharges itself by using the magnetic field generated by the wires.
So that's how all these drones have been staying up in the sky.
Hold on.
magnetic
Cheryl,
field.
They already
Cheryl,
knew it. They're just now they're telling us, oh yeah, some students figured it out. No, that's how you've been doing what you've been doing with the drones.
Yeah, pretty
Look at
much.
Stephanie's comment.
Cheryl gets the 5-star chicken nugget award of the night for her comments. This last one she just put up just made me go, huh?
Can you read it, Chin?
The kids could be the new have-nots.
There you go. Boom. I agree with you, AB. because this
Don't
is.
agree with me. I didn't make that statement. You agree with
I agree
Cheryl.
with her. I agree with Cheryl. I
Well,
agree
and
with
then
you
now
100%.
since going back to
Because
59 and the orphan trains and the Cabbage Patch Kids
it's
and
gonna. It's
I gotta
going.
go. I gotta go. This is getting too fucking deep.
No, this is going all gonna go back to the children. I believe when everything busts out and it's the big bust out, it's gonna start with the children, and it ain't gonna be good.
it ain't gonna be
If you watch that
Well,
episode of Redacted, that one guy that works with him and that lady that tried so hard that went in and was trying to tell Congress about it and how the children are down there and those Walmarts that we thought they emptied for us, for
Yeah.
FEMA, the
Yeah.
children are in there and they don't have enough workers because the workers aren't getting paid and because they don't have diapers and food and they're carrying crying babies for 18 hours that they can't change that are miserable.
supposedly.
Yeah, I mean, this is the
Yeah.
stuff we hear. But then besides all this stuff, the stuff we're talking about now there's a whole nother section, the biblical section of what's going on in the world.
But they have videoed the children in that Walmart. There has
Oh,
been
I believe you.
videos.
I believe you. It's that don't believe you.
So
The
let's flip.
ones that come over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
flip.
speaking
Illegal
of
aliens.
biblical, don't we have any news for Jews?
There
Yeah,
you go.
we need to flip gears, you guys. And
God.
And now for your Middle East news report with Hit Gal.
Okay.
golf.
Sunday.
It's your turn. It never gets
We're
old.
gonna need some.
Sorry.
There's just too much. There's just too much going on over there. I'm telling you. I had heard about this Sunday. I had been told that there was going to be something big go down, and they were for sure that it was going down. And this Operation Sindor is just like they had planned. These two countries have never got along. They really haven't. And they said they were going to go at it, and that they're equally matched as far as nukes and stuff. Yeah, they're equally matched, but India has a policy of we don't strike first. However, Pakistan, on the other hand, has said if you hit us, we have the right to use them. So now they feel that they've been hit. So they feel like they have the right to fire back, and they have sent. Oh, let me look this up, make sure I get this worded right. I had an update on my phone, so I'm like, oh, everything's all. But they have sent some tanks all the way to the border, and the locals have filmed parts of it. I mean, there's video actually of these tanks headed to the streets of Lahore, headed towards the Indian border. So Pakistan is sending tanks there. So that's not a good sign, because that says they're all out, and there's video and everything. I've actually seen the videos. That to me is rather concerning that they're like going full force with this, because everybody told them to calm down, keep your cool, and they're not doing it. I don't know, something set all the countries off because they're all, and then
Trump.
Were you going to say? Well, I
I'm
don't know
just
if it's
saying.
that or the solar sunspots. Well, there's a lot to do with that. What was the next one you had in order? I'll just go with whatever order you've got them in, Tim.
Hey, real quick, is
I'll
is
just
Pakistan
go with
who?
it.
It's Pakistan and who? I'm drawing a
In
brain for.
India,
India.
Is that Modi?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
Modi, right?
Modi,
Yes.
yeah, Modi's India.
Yeah.
And didn't India just sign a zero tariff deal with the U.S. just recently? And
Well,
I'm,
China
I'm,
wants to send their stuff there too
mm-hmm,
to get around the tariffs. So I
mm-hmm.
don't know. Of course, like I say, everything you kind of hear is you never
Yeah.
know for sure. Too.
Yeah, there's always something else that's behind it. Do you know what's
Mm-hmm.
the Pakistani president's name? I don't
Um,
know. I don't know.
I I suck at names too.
So
Um, do
apparently,
you have that picture? That's the fake picture.
no, yeah, but I do have this. It explains kind of
Okay.
what's going on. Operation
Okay.
Sindoor
Yeah.
is let me go over here so people can see a
You
little
know,
better.
Mhm.
people gotta step aside and let Mr. Trump just do his thing, make the bread, and see what happens.
It ain't
I'm
gluten
all
free, so I ain't eating it.
I'm all in.
You keep
So India
all in.
carries
Sorry.
out Operation Sindoor against Pakistan in response to a Philgam terror attack. The Indian Armed Forces have carried out Operation Sindoor against Pakistan in response to the attack in which 26 tourists were killed. The forces hit the tea infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan occupied Kashmir, from where terrorist attacks against India have been planned and directed. So there was something that happened with 26 tourists, it says right here. 26 tourists.
Mhm.
I don't
And
know when.
Pakistan. Yeah,
Go ahead.
Pakistan has shot down 2 Indian jets.
Uh-oh.
They actually found evidence of that. So far, and last I heard, and things keep going fast, 80 cruise missiles and ballistic missiles have been launched at the Indian military. So,
What type of jets were hit? I wonder if that was our beholded F-35s.
I was wondering the
well,
same thing.
speaking of jets, the USS Harry Truman lost another one, an
What?
Another one?
F-18. Yep,
Just fell
yep.
off?
It, yep. They said there was an arrestment failure during the jet's landing attempt on the carrier. Yeah, that right there. The pilot and weapons
Bullshit.
systems officer ejected and were recovered by a rescue helicopter, but they are alive, but they suffered minor injuries. So yay,
So
we
listen,
lost another.
since Jeff was in the Navy, I want to know: did this happen all the time, and we just never heard about it, or are we just hearing about it now? Every
That's a
time a
good
jet
question.
falls off in the ocean. That's what
It's
I'm wondering.
probably happened. It's probably happened before.
Mm. But
What I
now
don't
that
get
Yeah.
the military drills and drills and drills and drills and drills and drills and drills. How can they be making these stupid ass mistakes?
right, me too, exactly. Especially in the position they're sitting out there in.
Now this guy right here in Poland, I kind of like him. He's got some chutzpah. He went up there and he said he's tired of the EU. He said they've cost them money, they have raised prices, and this is what happens, which is why I mentioned them earlier. When you let other, people come in and bring their might and force in. Do you have the video link to start it at I think it's about 40 seconds. It shows him, I mean, he's on fire. He's going to be running. They said he's a prime minister over there. and I really like him. This took some chutzpah.
Hit it, Chin.
Do you have
Patiently waiting.
Do you have the video?
She's freaking out right now. And
Probably.
dun, 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 dun,
Keep talking. I got to email
dun,
myself.
Keep
Okay.
filling in. Keep
Well,
filling in.
Hey, fill it in, Hickel. It's all yours.
he went in and he walked in. He took the EU flag off of the pole. He took it in the hallway. He stomped on it, wiped his feet on it.
Ooh.
Then he walked outside and lit it on fire. He said, "We do not need them." And there's
What's the
quite a
agenda
good
coming
interview
out of
with
the
him. Redacted got an interview with him. Here you go. I think it's about, yeah, you can
40
see where
seconds.
it starts. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Now, where was this at?
In Poland, Warsaw.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, he's not playing.
No, he ain't.
You're pissed. I wonder who's the prime
Yeah.
minister of? I mean,
Poland.
Poland. He's
Yeah.
not the.
Okay.
He's in the cabinet. The prime minister
Okay.
in a cabinet, and they apparently had call them prime ministers in the cabinet or something. I don't know, but I thought that was pretty. I loved it because he was making his point, and he's going to be running. He
Oh
talked
yeah.
about how it has cost his country so much to have the European Union come in there and try to say they were going to take care of their country, and it's done nothing but hurt their people,
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the
I
last
mean,
thing I
it
was going
does take two to screw in a light bulb, right? One to hold the light
well,
bulb, one to turn the person. Over in
that's what
Poland.
they say.
That's what I heard.
Hmm We told those jokes in school. That was so
Yeah.
bad. I'm so old. We told those
Well,
jokes.
I know. I'm right there with you.
So the last
Um,
thing I know you wanted to bring up was some of the fake propaganda that was coming out of the Middle East. I have a picture.
yeah.
So,
And this,
Go
I'm
ahead.
not doing this to say that this is that it only happens to the Jews, but if you see that picture, it was brought out. They were trying to say the Jews were taking these old ladies out to lunch, but not to lunch. And when you looked at the picture, you could tell the hands were fake, kind of like we said about the Pope at the end there when he was in his wheelchair. And none of that matches up. Like, there's nothing in his hand, but they were saying this is what they're doing to the Gazan women, the old ladies. They're taking them out. So, and whether or not this isn't just doesn't happen to the Jewish people and the Israelis. I'm saying this probably happens over in Gaza too. There's probably fake stuff like that because of AI, and you can tell by the hands that's fake. This stuff happens in our country. It happens everywhere, and just that's why I say a lot of times somebody will throw something up, and you got to go back and look. You got to go back and find out, like, okay, so you say orders were given and somebody was told to leave and somebody was sent a letter. Go back and find out how many times they've been sent a letter and told to leave a post or told to leave their office. And it hasn't happened yet. And Dom LeCour went to the White House and he asked Caroline, he said, what about, you know, the woman who ran against Trump? And what about dear O that was in office before for 8 years? Is anything going to happen to them? And she walked all around it. And then the next guy after him said, hey, they were connected with the dossier. How come nothing's happened? And she walked all around the question. We get this stuff all the time. And I think that's one of the problems. We just want straight up honesty. We just want
Right,
to
but
be told the truth.
Is that the first thing
Accountability.
is that the first thing she's really walked around?
No, she does it often.
Oh, what's her name?
Caroline Levitt.
Caroline.
Yeah.
I
I
haven't
mean,
watched
you know,
her
she does it. I
lately.
watch her all the time. She's like a car salesman. And I'm tired of getting the walk around. I want some accountability by some big people, because if you got 1,000 little people, they're gonna hire 2,000 more little people to replace them. If you don't cut, like, I mean, Don LaCour said this. He said, if you don't cut these people off and make them accountable, they're going to become even more and more evil and do more evil things, you know? And that I think that's why people are saying, you know, we need to see some accountability going on, and that's why people are frustrated and upset, and we're being told, okay, like, okay, the one thing I was going to share, Trump says he's not planning on stopping by Israel on his trip to the Middle East. Israel's furious because he's no longer going to be bombing the Houthis, because he made a deal with the Houthis. If you don't bomb our ships, I'm not going to bomb you. But they're still bombing Israel. The Houthis are. They're still attacking Israel.
You know what he did? He protected the U.S. interests there on our ship, and said, "Look," and he said they promised, if they break a promise and shoot at our ship, it's on like
But
Donkey
we'd
Kong.
already stepped into it. It's kind of like when you were
Why
back
are you
in
hitting the
school.
Why are you hitting the Houthis? Where does the Houthis get everything from?
From Iran.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're going to keep getting it.
That's right.
Because of and it will go back because of the tunnels.
Well, maybe I don't know about that one, but
well, how else are they getting it in there? You don't think it's really easy to watch
they fly them in.
Well, you don't think if you know there's a big shipment of shit coming in a plane, you're gonna drop that plane? I mean, that doesn't make sense.
They will if they know it, but so many things are disguised. But they also let some of it go through so it can continue on.
Well, I mean, that's where you get it, because war is money.
Mm-hmm.
The military-industrial complex, right?
There you go. Yes, ma'am.
But I mean, the thing is that Netanyahu and Trump had an agreement, and so Netanyahu's mad, and I'm not a fan of Netanyahu. Everybody knows that, but that's what I'm talking about. It's like you say one thing and you do another. Arrest her, don't arrest her. Day one, nothing happens, and see, that's what people are tired of.
But the Jews are bad. The Jews are the ones.
The Jews aren't bad. It's the Zionist government running the Jews.
It's the Jews. It's not. I'm not saying you, Hickel. I'm saying the bad ones that are in there running. What's going on. It's the Zionist, like AB said. It's the Kazakhstanian Jews. It's them, but the thing is, just like Christians get lumped in with all Christians. I mean, this can go real deep, but as far as
our country looks bad because, look, even Mexico doesn't want us coming in there because we've got so much bad. That's what I'm saying. There is so much bad
going
everywhere.
And this stuff it's all brand new. This stuff just all fired up.
And you know what scripture has been coming to me? There's several places in the Bible. It's in Exodus 12:49, Leviticus 19:34, Numbers 15:15 and 16, Ezekiel 47. And you know what God says? And I like this because I like straight up stuff.
Bring it.
He says there is one law for the country and for the sojourner too. There's one law for everyone. And it seems like we got double laws and double standards.
Nobody's above the law. Amen.
But aren't they? Because they're getting away with it. Just
That's
like
the problem.
Cola brought up, some of the stars are getting out of that stuff that, she's sharing about. See,
How did he
it
do
all
what he did?
shows.
How'd that dude do what he did? Did what he did?
Beyonce and them are getting off.
There's a couple different times that Jay-Z's getting away with it's back to back, and it's kind of like obvious at that point because it's like they just pick and choose, I guess. I don't know. I feel like it's going to come out in the trial. They can't stop. They can't get to everybody. There's
Oh,
also
speaking of that, Smokey Robinson just got accused today. I think it was Smokey Robinson.
Wow.
Wait a minute, let me do the intro first.
Oh.
We're gonna
There you
start
go.
celebrity dirt.
I'm Diddy, and I didn't touch nobody.
I'm Gary.
That's good.
I didn't know about Smokey Robinson.
Oh, I didn't know about Gary.
I didn't know Gary either until last night.
Sorry,
Oh,
Tim.
God.
I didn't mean to segue for you, but it just kind of fell in there. And
You're
Perfect.
perfect.
Oh my God. So where do we start, Cola, and you guys with
Well, that little news
Me-
clip, because we know today is the second day of they're going through the jury.
Was it Smokey Robinson? Let me confirm that.
Mika,
I
make
didn't know
Cola
that.
big. Camera one.
Oh, I gotta wait because I need to do I need to figure out what video she's gonna do first. So
Yeah, it's just
you wanted to go into the jurors, right? Because it's day 2 or jury
yeah,
selection.
but you also so there's a news clip that's just a shorter one, and then there's a longer video that has several times.
Trusting God.
But you can do it however you want. I was going to do the news one, kind of just Garrett.
You want to kind of lead us
That's
in?
perfect. Yeah. Well, she's pretty much going to tell us about what happened today, and because we're already on today. We don't need to go backwards. Yesterday, same thing, really. But go ahead.
Filled out. It was an opportunity for both sides to ask questions to those jurors based on how they filled out that questionnaire. There were some other telling moments in what we are now learning about some of the people and places, for instance, that jurors were asked about if they were familiar with. For instance, one juror said that they were familiar with, I believe it wasn't, stand by because it is wet outside and I want to make sure I get it right. It was number 88, and that was apparently Michael B. Jordan. And then there was number 117, Mike Myers. So these were jurors saying that they were familiar with pictures of these people, but just knowing them as actors or celebrities. Then there were parts where the judge said, what about number 133? You had a question about that person. And this was juror number 4. They said, I know them as a celebrity, but in that case, the judge didn't mention them by name. And just as I was leaving, another juror was asked about Kanye West in terms of what that juror knew about Kanye West or their feelings or thoughts about him. So we don't know how that will play into this trial, whether this is a situation where maybe one of the witnesses or alleged victims says they saw people at a party, or whether these were just people that were at a Diddy party that we've talked about along with this case. So it's too early to presume exactly what that means, but there are a number of locations and people that these jurors were already shown to find out their connection to, or just how familiar they are with some of these people and places.
So they're asking the jurors if they of course they're going to recognize half of these people, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, supposedly, but they're saying a lot of people are saying no. It's going to be so much.
Depends on the age group.
Such a bad feeling about this one. Well, they go through it, and that's what I was telling you about. I'm actually going to grab this other one just for chat because Robert Gouveia, is so good at covering this. Like he goes backwards. He did yesterday. And he went through everything that happened in court. I mean, every time someone speaks, every question, when they went to talk to the judge. So if you want to know, we don't have that kind of time on here, but if somebody wanted to, and I should have had this ready. If somebody wanted to know what every single juror of the first day, he goes through each and every one. The other clips you've got, they kind of talk about some of them from today. So like yesterday, there was somebody that stole the Harry Potter wand from, when they were a kid at 15 years old, and just like a lot of weird details come out.
Stole the Harry. They were asking him if they were a thief or something.
No, they're just admitting stuff. You'll see on this next clip. They kind of explain it like, well, they just tell you a little bit about each juror because they have to know and they have to admit to certain things and ask certain questions. So
this one's at what marked the 6th?
There's several different ones. About 6:01 is about a little bit about the juries. It's only about a minute to 7:17. And then there's about 2 more spots, the same one, because this is from today.
Oh, this is fresh. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I got 6:09.
Holmes case on CNN admitted that they leaned in a negative light towards him, having committed some crimes. That juror was excluded. You had another juror who admitted on the questionnaire, again, that all these prospective jurors had to fill out, that she was a victim of an attempted rape. Reportedly said the cops could have done a lot more. But this juror wrote on the questionnaire that P. Diddy has money and he could buy his way out. And when asked by the court, well, what did you mean by that? She apparently doubled down and said, just what I wrote. She was excused for cause. Another juror who has a son that works in the DA's office of Rockland County, New York, conceded they aren't sure if they could be fair and can't promise they wouldn't be biased. Struck for cause. Another juror who admitted they would be biased for law enforcement, struck from this jury. Nima, I got to say, this is what I anticipated would happen. Now, first of all, credit to these prospective jurors for being honest or purportedly being honest, but I expected we would have a lot of people that would show a sense of bias in this case.
I think that's right, Jesse. First of all, in any case, there are a lot of people that just want to get off jury duty, right? They get that summons in the mail and they don't want to be there, especially for a 2-month trial. That's going to get a lot of press and not just attention here, international attention. Now, you have some stealth jurors that maybe want to get on this panel and write a book about it and go on the talk show circuit after this is all said and done. But most Americans aren't really excited to serve as jurors. So you'll get folks that will say anything to get off the panel. Now.
So I bet a lot of them, I wouldn't want to be on that panel. I wouldn't want to be on that jury. Would you?
No.
That's what I've been trying to do is get kicked off the panel.
You'd get
so look what happened to Pootie. I'm just saying.
Just think what could potentially happen to you. This is like an OJ kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Then the questions like everybody's being pretty honest and they're keeping a lot of people you wouldn't think they'll keep. Like they're like, yeah, like I said, I put in the chat the link to Robert Gouveia because he goes through everyone yesterday and he's really good at it. But it's 45 minutes long. No, we don't have time like that. But yeah, this is a kind of what they're doing, explaining.
So now this next part is more on the jurors.
There's about 19 prospective jurors that made it through at this point. Yeah, as of today.
So let me help you out, Kohler. But Wednesday nights you've got plenty of time, correct?
I do, but I mean, I want to go down the James O'Keefe thing. AB, I do.
Well, then that's what you're going to be doing on Wednesday night on
Wednesday night.
Channel.
Wednesday
I see what
night.
you did there. I see what you did there. Okay.
So if Jen would so likely put that in chat, her link to Wednesday night's talk about James O'Keefe crap coming out.
And I'll only take half of all your super chats that you get that night for helping you out and advertise it for you. We'll hit my cash out.
So let's go back to what Cola was talking about. So this is from today, like you said, and it's talking about at this point we've only got 19 potential jurors,
Yeah.
right?
No, yeah, they're going to explain it, and then there's only one more, and then I'm done with videos because
about who made it through. So it's been reported that 19 prospective jurors made it through day one yesterday. And today you had other jurors who made it through. And by that, what I mean is, to be clear, these are not necessarily jurors who are going to ultimately sit on the jury. They are making up that panel of 45 or so jurors who then both the prosecution and the defense will strike and get down to the number of 12 jurors and 6 alternates. Again, I'll get to that a little bit more. But who made it through today? So you had one juror who made it through that was a student of psychiatry, is at Mount Sinai in surgical pathology, served as an expert witness in medical malpractice cases, indicated his son was beat up and had his cell phone stolen while in college, and was told that the crime was committed by 3 young black men. Both sides agreed, and so did the court, not to strike this juror. You have another potential juror who made it through, someone who says they may be an elected officer to a union. His wife, according to him, was molested by a family member. And while he said he saw the CNN video, the Cassie video, and claimed that Diddy looked angry and hostile and entitled, he said he could be fair. You had another juror who claimed that he would lose 30% of his income if he had to serve on an 8-week trial, but indicated he could survive it. Also told the court that his wife is suing his landlord for repairs. It's important to know of any legal issues they may have. And also claimed that he has friends who have been assaulted. That person moving forward. Another potential juror is a security guard, has seen the Cassie tape, found it disturbing, but indicated could be fair. She was let in. We have a child neglect social worker coming in too. We have another juror who was let in over the prosecution's objection, by the way, who claimed that he had negative interactions with the police, including over stolen sneakers, claimed the police didn't look enough into it. Also said on another occasion, an officer allegedly pushed him during a house party that was being shut down. So, Nima, do you get a sense about what both sides want here?
Right.
Wow, those sound like some stellar jurists. Wow, I don't know. The first one,
right. Well, the very last part here, they're going to tell you about. Yeah, it's even weirder if you go to that other link and listen to all the ones from yesterday. But they're going to tell you about. He's asking questions. So about where are we if they finish up on Wednesday? I mean, because they're supposed to be starting the trial on the 12th. I'm kind of wondering if they might start it early based on how quickly they're rolling through this stuff. But these guys talk about that right here, where you already got it.
It's strange because the guy's wife's in a lawsuit with a landlord, and then you've got all these. Yeah, I got people got assaulted, but hey, I'm like, yeah, I'm numb. I'm numb. I could do this. I don't know something.
What's up, Jay?
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
When is the 12th? What day is that?
Monday, I think.
Monday is coming.
But there was a lot of names too. That because they asked a lot of weird questions, and it was like Austin Powers. What's his Mike Myers?
The reason why is I'm saying I was thinking 2 days early. 2 days ahead of schedule. That's what it is.
What would be 2 days ahead?
Oh, what would that?
Don't know.
Friday or Thursday? I don't know. Well, that's what they're going to talk about, but I don't know. It's surely it's subject to change. It is. It feels all of it feels strange. Just like everything is news in this case. Like I know that he gets 2 pairs of shoes, but can't wear shoelaces, and he's going to wear, nice clothes to court instead of his jumpsuit. And it's like some of it's not really news, but I guess it is all news. But this is about where we're at in the trial or whatever.
And it's only day 2.
Yes,
so
James.
So here's the last little bit on the potential jurors.
Parties and any type of civil war.
Real quick, Cole, people are asking for your link to your
Nick
channel.
Galami put it in there. I thought.
Yeah, it was in there.
Just scroll up just a little bit, and it's there. It really is. Thanks again, Hit Gal. Appreciate that.
Okay, I'm gonna hit this.
There, I put it in again.
In case they get a certain number of parentheses. Those are strikes that they can use for any reason, or really no reason at all, as long as it's not a constitutionally prohibited reason, race, religion, and those sorts of things. So once the cause challenges are done and we have that 45 or so, then the parties start using their peremptories. And each case is different. Typically in a federal case, the defense will get 10, The government usually will get 6, but obviously the judge can modify that as well in each particular case.
Do you think that's going to take a full day? So, for example, let's say they get 45 jurors impaneled by Wednesday. They go to preemptories on Thursday. Should they have a jury selected by Thursday afternoon?
I do. And obviously, the lawyers like to ask all sorts of questions. They'll be going into these jurors' social media, trying to get as much information as they can. The judges asked some of this already. There's a whole industry of jury consultants that do this type of research. They're psychologists. They come, they observe these jurors in the courtroom, how they're dressed, how they're interacting with the court. Are they looking at the defendant? And based on that, they're going to use their strikes on the jurors they think are going to be problematic. And sometimes there's a little bit of gamesmanship. Like maybe you don't like a juror, but you think the prosecution might strike them, or maybe the jurors that are coming up behind them are even worse. So there's a real strategy here when it comes to jury selection as well, especially the use of peremptory.
Now, putting aside the issue of jury selection, before I let you go, there's another issue I want to talk to you about since we last broadcast our previous sidebar. So first, as Law and Crime's Elizabeth Milner reported to us yesterday, famed celebrity criminal defense attorney Mark Garagos was in court yesterday. And what happened today? The prosecution filed a letter with the court today objecting to this, saying that it appeared the defense was consulting with Mr. Garagos and members of his law firm, but they apparently never filed a notice to appear in the case. They also argue that according to the local rules, a lawyer or firm, quote, associated with the defense can't make out-of-court statements that would interfere with the trial. And they cite how Garagos has been talking about the case as recently as a few days ago on his podcast. Let's start there, Nima. Fair argument?
Yeah, Garagos, wasn't he the lawyer that originally was Diddy's lawyer, or is that Diddy's lawyer, Garagos?
I thought Garagos is...
Where did Cola go?
She's here. Oh, she bailed.
No, she's not.
No, she dropped out. Oh my God.
I thought Golago was his new attorney that was somebody else's. Whose attorney was he? Like,
Cola, get back up here. What happened? Oh my God. This is your segment, honey.
Stay calm. Stay calm.
Well, needless to say, it sounds like they're going to get this jury picked real quick. Like, this seems really quick. I wonder how fast it took to pick OJ's jury.
I don't know, but you can Google it.
I don't know.
Or Alexa it. Hey, man, it's 10:19. We've been on here for a long time. We've been way past our limit.
I know.
That's fine. It's extra pay for me.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to cut that overtime.
Cut that overtime. Anyhow, so that's where we're at with Diddy trial day 2 jury selection. Sounds like they got 17 potentials, and God forbid.
Oh no, not 17. Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull a Krista. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, bloop, gone.
So anyhow, yeah, I don't know what happened to Cola. That's strange. Well, you guys,
She's trying.
Yeah, she said
she's trying.
And you all see that Christia's been in that chat, so ask her questions.
So thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with us. So, and Craig texted me and let him know that he was going to bed early tonight because he had there's Cola. What happened?
Oh my God, I don't even know, but I was trying to get in with the other laptop. If it went for Billy, I still wouldn't be here. But yeah, I think the internet, that was the TMZ guy that you were talking about. That's who they were talking about. It's crazy. That they were saying he was talking to I think they were saying he was acting as if a defense, and they're like, look, this guy was just on a podcast talking about this. He's got to pick a side. He can't both talk to the attorneys and then go back and do it. I don't know. That's kind of what they were saying, because apparently he was trying to help with Diddy's defense in court and was talking to attorneys, and they're like, like I said, just like a day or so ago, he does the Two Angry Men podcast, and with that whatever Levin guy.
But
So,
was he originally Diddy's lawyer and then dropped out?
I didn't think so, but he's had so many. He I think wasn't he the one with Menendez? Or it was rumored that he was going to. I don't know. I'm getting all confused now. I'm sorry. I got all shook up getting knocked out of here. But
It's
I
okay.
know they're definitely talking about. He definitely does do the TMZ stuff. But I didn't think he was still a lawyer. But maybe he is. I don't know. Sorry.
Hey, this, just so you guys know, and thank you for everybody who hung in here tonight with us. We appreciate it, and thank you for all the prayers from the flying hand truck. And stay away from Walmart. Walmart sucks. Flying hand trucks suck. And get the hell out of here.
And this episode is brought to you.
And this episode was brought to you by We Don't Know Fucking Nothing. None of us. We don't.
We're supposed to pray for
Oh yeah, we need
Appalachian.
a prayer. Let's have a prayer before we leave, at least.
Oh,
I knew that was coming.
all right. I'm gonna just throw this verse out. Proverbs 28:5. Evil men do not understand justice, but those who seek the Lord understand it completely. So, Lord, I pray you be with this dear lady, Appalachian lady that's had all this blood sugar. I understand that, Lord. The things of this world, the stress probably doesn't help that. I pray you keep her blood sugar low. Don't let her ever get that sick again. Be with each and every one of us that has things going on in our life and the stress that we're all feeling and the confusion that's going on. Lord, just be with us all and guide us through this week. Amen.
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 And
Thank you,
give
Hiccup.
Jay an invisible shield so no flying hand trucks.
Man, can you
We'll hit him
believe
anymore.
that? A flying hand truck, man.
Stay tuned. We'll see you on Sunday. Shout out to chat. We love you guys.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life.